Welcome, wrestling fans. Welcome to Curtain Jerkin. As always, I'm your host, Jacob Grondy, reporting for the Main Event Marks YouTube channel and the Dragon Suplex Podcasting Network. It's been a good few days in the world of pro wrestling. We have a big pay-per-view tonight, our Mother's Day, Sunday, that we're going to talk about a little bit. But I wanted to talk about Stu Grayson, gone from AEW. Bummer to hear. He was a good wrestler. He was always underrated. He was one of the first guys that people were like, why doesn't he get a push in AEW? First guy to be the victim of a large roster, and now he's on his way out. I don't know what they're going to do with him. He's a little older. He might be able to have a run in, Japan or Mexico, anywhere he wants to go. But I can see him kind of sitting back and maybe being a coach. But that's just me. I don't want any Stu Grayson, diehards to come after me. But I don't really. I think that this AEW run was going to be his biggest run in his career. But you never know. I mean, Rene Dupree's biggest run of his career was in like the mid-2000s in WWE, but here he is with El Hijo del Dr. Wagner Jr., winning the Noah GHC Heavyweight Tag Championships. I didn't see that coming. A very random turn of events. Hopefully that means that the Tag Championship will go to Keno and Nakajima. Hopefully they'll be transitional champions here, and they can put the title on the tag team that I want to see. I mean, Nakajima and Keno, not necessarily too young, but younger than the guys that they choose to put the titles on most of the time. And I think you kind of need a youth movement in Noah to compete with, New Japan, even DDT and Stardom. I guess they're not necessarily competing with DDT because they work within the same corporate conglomerate company. But you got to kind of compete for, not necessarily, friendly competition with DDT, and just kind of be looked at as that second promotion in Japan. Because right now, I think they're fourth. I would put Stardom and DDT, and of course New Japan ahead of Noah right now. And it used to not be like that when Rene Dupree was running roughshod in the tag division on Raw. So maybe figure out what they did 17 years ago and do that again, not just showcase guys that were popular 17 years ago. That is not working. But jumping from Noah to WWE WrestleMania Backlash is this weekend. Charlotte versus Ronda 2. I think Charlotte, the champion, I think she's quitting. I think she's going to tap out like a little bitch. RK Bro and Drew McIntyre versus the Usos and Roman Reigns. I think RK Bro and Drew win this one to set up a bigger match between Drew and Roman at SummerSlam. Cody Rhodes and Seth Rollins 2. I think Rollins gets the victory here, but he's going to do it in a way that he reminds everybody that he's a dick in the process of this victory. And then we're going to get a rubber match somewhere, maybe at the next pay-per-view, maybe headline the next pay-per-view. Lashley versus Almost. Big Bobby Lashley slammed Almost. That's all we want to see in this feud, and I think that we're going to get it. And that's going to be the highlight that's going to be showcased all over Raw the next day. Happy Corbin versus Madcap Moss. What went wrong? I'm thinking Madcap is going to get the victory and begin his rise by beating his former partner. I can see Madcap doing pretty well here, moving up the ranks. Maybe not too quickly, but within a year or two, I can see him in getting a title shot, world title shot. AJ versus Edge 2. I think Edge is going to win again the exact same way he won at Mania, getting a new faction member and ruining an otherwise good match with a horrible finish. That's what I think is going to happen. I think that's all the matches. I don't watch WWE week to week. I only watch the big shows. So the last time I really watched a WWE show was the Raw after Mania. And I was disappointed with the Raw after Mania, I'm not going to lie. So the last time I saw WWE, I was disappointed. And it looks like I didn't miss much because there's like 3 or 4 matches that are just directly rematches from WrestleMania. So that's how I recommend doing it, because there's one thing that WWE does better than any other wrestling company and that's production and video packages. And you get a lot of that on these shows, and the video packages are way better than the week-to-week programming that pretty much sets up the video packages that sets up the big shows. But moving on from WWE, we have AEW, Dynamite, and Rampage to talk about. The week that was in AEW, I'm going to rank every single match from worst to first, but I'm going to give you my overall thoughts on everything prior to doing that. We got a really good Blackpool Combat Club video going right into their match. I thought that was very well done. Then Hangman Page with a fiery promo. I'll say it, he cut a better promo than CM Punk did about their match coming up. So it's your move, Punk. I mean, you already lost the promo battle to MJF, I think, and you're known for promos, and here is the world champion stepping up his game. I want to see what you have to say. You're going to Long Island. You got booed in Long Island last time, so hopefully that sparks a fire up under you, so you can cut some of these great promos we're known for you for you're known for cutting in the past. Because right now it looks like Hangman is winning this promo battle, and this is the most important world title reign in AEW history, and I think Hangman Page stepped it up on Dynamite this week. Always good to see a Joe promo as well. We saw a Joe promo on Dynamite. Most underrated promo of all time, in my opinion. Asian Pacific Heritage Month. That's cool. I'm down with that. Wheeler Yuta, Riho was being showcased in this video package. Tony Khan, of course, being showcased in this video package. Julia Hart finally turns on the Varsity Blondes. Kind of. She doesn't hit them with the chair, but she definitely stands with House of Black. But that was all just to set up a Death Triangle feud. So I really think that Varsity Blondes were getting pushed to the wayside here. And they kind of had to cut bait with this Julia Hart feud. I think they kind of forgot that they were doing it, started and stopped it numerous times. But, House of Black, Death Triangle, they're going to have some great matches no matter what. So at the end of the day, I can't complain too much about this feud. I'm definitely not going to complain about Rosa versus Deeb. This should be good. I mean, it was good for the NWA title last year. One of the first few matches they did when they had a full capacity crowd back. Amazing thing. I remember seeing a Daily's Place with the sun hitting it and everything. So if it was half as good as that moment, it's going to be a great match. Going on to AEW Rampage, Kingston calling Jericho when he was on commentary was excellent. It felt like a movie. It felt like I was watching like Taken or something here. But instead of Kingston having a daughter being stolen, it's like he's protecting his face, mentioning that he made his wife cry. I thought that was really good shit here, man. The Jericho-Kingston feud is the best feud in AEW right now. And it's because Kingston is talking me into the damn seat here. Tony Nese challenging Danhausen, obviously ducking Hook. Danhausen trying to get Hook in his corner, but gets too close, gets pushed, but then tries to give him a bag of chips with a bow on it. I get why that could be funny, trying to give a teenager a bag of chips. Teenagers like chips. Hook likes chips, but I don't know, man. I think it sounded better in the back, and they did it in front of thousands of people, and it didn't really work. That's kind of what I'm thinking. But I might be too old to get Hook, or I might be not Hook, but Danhausen. I think he's kind of funny, but I do not think he's worthy of this TV time they gave him, and they really do not. They've never really explained him. There was never like a series of vignettes that we could really fully get a full sense of this character. But you know what? I mean, I think this, Hook Danhausen dynamic could work out. We'll see. I definitely like Tony Nese. I definitely like Mark Sterling, and I think Hook is pretty entertaining. So Danhausen isn't bad enough to fuck that up. So, I'm apprehensive, but I'm accepting of this feud and program. But moving on to run down every single match from worst to first from AEW Dynamite and Rampage this week. Number 10 is Hook versus JD Drake. It was cool to see JD Drake on Dynamite or on Rampage in Baltimore. JD Drake, a local legend in my area, in my part of the country, but Hook headbutting his chop and then throwing him over his shoulders and choking him out, getting the victory. That's 10 out of 10. Deonna Perazzo and Mercedes Martinez was the number 9 match. No Ian Riccaboni, no pageantry for this Ring of Honor title match. Fisherman Buster by Martinez, 1-2, no, but she eventually does get the win. It just felt like nothing special. It felt like this was an obligation rather than something they really wanted to do. There was a non-contracted wrestler. They wanted to put it on a contracted wrestler. And Mercedes Martinez, I mean, I guess she's the right girl, but, you already have 2 women's champions, and now you have a 3rd women's champion. So it's kind of like she has the European title or something like that. And hopefully she could showcase more than, some of these other, Ring of Honor titles. But no Ian Riccaboni, no Ring of Honor commentator. It just felt like another AEW match with wrestlers that they don't really push, and it was in the main event. So you really had to be in the know to understand why this was being showcased at all. I think it would have worked a lot better in the middle of the card. Bobby Fish versus Jeff Hardy was the curtain jerker for Dynamite. Cole on commentary, Kyle and Matt Hardy at ringside. I thought there would be more shenanigans here with all these guys, circling the ring. Falcon Arrow off the top from Bobby Fish, 1-2. Jeff Hardy kicks out Swanton, 1, 2, 3. Hardy moves on in the tournament to face Darby Allin. That should be a good one. Blackpool Combat Club versus Angelico, Butcher and the Blade. Butcher attacking before the bell, Blade bleeding after the brawl, but Bryan taps out Angelico. That's number 7 out of 10, ranking them all from worst to first. Number 6, Wardlow versus Morrissey. Morrissey towers over Wardlow here. We want Enzo chance, dueling with no we don't chance. So you can't say Enzo is not over in 2022. He's getting the Cena treatment, and he's not even in the building. That's got to feel weird for Morrissey. Moonsault from Wardlow. Powerbomb 1, 2, 3. No more than one powerbomb to the big man, though. No powerbomb symphony, but Wardlow does get the victory. Going into the top 5 here. Jericho versus Santana. Santana dives on Jericho right away before the bell. Lion Tamer, Santana gets the ropes. Ortiz takes Floyd from the Appreciation Society, but Jericho hits a low blow and the Judas Effect to get the victory. 1, 2, 3. The Appreciation Society with the numbers advantage, attacking them all without Kingston, not being there, taking care of his face being lit on fire. But number 4, Jay versus Takeshita. I don't watch too much DDT, so I'm not too familiar with this guy, but this guy was good. He looked the part of a wrestler, a lot taller than Lethal, yoked, good presentation on this guy. Lethal going after his leg. Brainbuster 1, 2. Lethal says no. Sanjay on the apron. Lethal injection 1, 2, 3. Best friends come out. They get destroyed by Singh. Joe's seen enough. He comes out. Security, referees have to hold him back, and we go off the air for the second week in a row with Jay and Joe being held back from each other. I think Orange Cassidy versus Singh is a great first match for Singh. I think the crowd will be super into it. The crowd would be okay with a slow pace if they do a Cassidy match. So I don't have a problem with it. I think it's a lot better than doing Joe and Singh off the bat here. You don't really want to put a title on Singh because then you're going to have to take the title off of Singh, and you don't really want Joe to lose, but you don't want Singh to lose. But Orange Cassidy can lose a bunch and still be over, and so can the Best Friends. That's kind of how I see it. But moving on, number 3, Hayter and Baker versus Soho and Tony Storm. Pittsburgh sucks chance from this Baltimore crowd. You gotta love that. Running hip attack from Storm. Sick backbreaker from Soho. This match was great though. Rebel distracts Rebel distracts the referee, allowing Baker to gouge the eyes, but Storm is still able to roll her up and steal the victory from the former champion. This was a great tag match. Go out of your way and watch this one, and go out of your way to watch the number 2 slotted match when you rank every single match from worst to first in AEW Dynamite and Rampage this week. Rio versus Yuka Sakazaki. This match was awesome. The ladies killing it. 3 and 2, picking up the bronze and picking up the silver this week as far as the match quality. Sasaki with the a dive to the floor and then going after Rio's leg. Sasaki in control, going for, I guess, one of her patented moves. Excalibur called it. I can't call it, but it was just like kind of a springboard dive. Rio gets her knees up, but at this point, there was so much damage to Rio's leg that we didn't know what was going to happen. Neither woman could put the other one away. Rio does eventually, though, with the W, moving on in the tournament, the Owen Hart Foundation tournament. This was good. Good to see Rio back. Good to see Sakazaki back. Stuttering over it. It was so good. And then we had Dante Martin versus Phoenix, the number 1 match on Dynamite. This match was awesome, but it was very hard to review. It was happening so quickly. Crowd on their feet at one point, I can tell you that much. Springboard inverted Spanish fly. Crowd eating all of this up. 1, 2, 3. Phoenix gets the victory. Moves on in the Owen Hart tournament. The Owen Hart tournament is kind of stepping up their game as of late here. I feel like, the Fish Hardy match was pretty good, but the Rio Sakazaki match and the Dante versus Phoenix match were very, very good. The best 2 matches on the shows. And you have, a bit of a dream match in Hardy versus Darby Allin in the second round. So I think it, like a lot of stuff in AEW, it took a long time to kind of get it going, but once it's going, it's pretty damn good. I love pro wrestling. I'm glad I get to put this show up for you guys. I'm a big fan of summertime, guys, and summertime is a good time for pro wrestling. We have SummerSlam, of course, this year a little bit more important than ever because it's happening in the UK. Can they sell at a big UK stadium show? What is that going to look like? I'm pretty excited about that, and I'm also excited about the G1. The first time in 2 years the G1 is actually happening in the summertime, and that's kind of what made me fall in love with New Japan. I was kind of keeping up with it, and then all of a sudden the G1 happened, and 1 year, I think it was like 2016 or 2015, I was like, you know what, I'm going to watch every single match from this. And I would wake up every morning really early, drink my cup of coffee, and just watch super, super good matches. Try to explain it to my roommate how good these matches were. Try to explain it to my girlfriend at the time how good these matches were. And they just didn't care. So I'm glad that you guys are listening to me right now, and you guys care how much I love wrestling, and I hope you guys love wrestling as much, or if not, maybe more than I do, and I want to hear it in the comments below. Please let me know, and as always, fly high. I'm out.